All right, everybody, welcome back. Happy Monday. Capital G, capital O, capital D. Thank you for waking me up today and blessing me with another day, dear Lord. Big up to wifey and kids, and of course, big up to you guys. Getting it in again on X-Plane. An oldie but a goodie. I always need a good, technically, never need a good reason to fly this because the plane speaks for itself, but it is out of operation in many different areas. Therefore, it's harder for me to find legit areas to go ahead and fly this thing. So we're here today in Nassau, airport code Mike Yankee November. We're just going to be doing a quick hop over to the Florida Keys, and if we got more time, maybe the return trip. That's it. We just want to get this thing back up in the air. We're going to be running PAC-X again just to make sure it doesn't crash our X-Plane. Hopefully it doesn't. Let's jump on board here. First of all, let's see where we are at in the airport here before we get going. Make things easier. Let's pull these charts up. All right, we're just going to be flying daytime hours, but it'll be real-time weather, of course. So we're anticipating runway 14 for departure, and we are going to be departing out on the Freddy to RNAV departure. Okay, the transition we will be expecting is Nico. So let's take a look at that. Out here pretty much to the west. So at Freddy, turn right on track 233 to Judith, turn right on track 292. From here I'm on track 292 out to the west. Expect further clearance after that. We won't, so we'll depart, catch Freddy's, right turn Judith, right turn Harem on out to Nico, and then here are some other fixes here to note there. And let's go ahead and put these on night charts here. Then we're going to Key West. Standard runway to land on there is 9. And let's see what approaches we have. Okay, so it's no longer runway 9. Technically, it is runway 10. Oops. As you can see on the chart, it says 9, but looks like it's 10 now. 5,000 foot runway. And that's what was going on. I was picking it for here. We can get rid of that now. And I was like, what's going on here? So runway 9. We'll be probably more than likely in here from the south. So we'll take a look and see if we're going to transition jets or vaned. Any rate, this is not a very tedious flight at all, so we can get started right now, fam bammers. James Johnson says, what's up, man? Am I ready for Christmas? Only 3 days to go. Well, James, I'm as ready as I'm going to be, my G. Good to see you. And James likes to practice his Spanish, so we'll be talking to him in Spanish, of course. So, sí, claro que yo estoy listo para la Navidad, papá. ¿Y tú cómo estás? ¿Estás listo para el día de Navidad? Dime, dime. All right. Let us get the music stopped here so we can hear the sounds. First and foremost, so I updated the plane, of course, so let's connect GPU. And then we're going to bring this aircraft to life, guys. We're going to go with the standby battery. Actually, let's do this. Let's do the master battery. We'll do standby battery, auxiliary battery, main battery. And we're also going to get some external power going there. Get our position lights going there, folks. And we're also going to arm the emergency lights and going to get the no smoking where it needs to go. Now, if you guys remember the Dash 8, we don't need to do any aligning. However, we do need to bring the screens to life. So we're going to roll these knobs down here until the screens come on. Then for this center screen down here, we are going to roll this. And now to get that aligning. Additionally, guys, we're going to turn on our FMCs. Bring those to life. As well as we have to turn our radio stacks on. Wait for those to finish their tests and get those on. All right, aircraft is coming alive. We are also going to take that spoiler off into the taxi mode. Now we're also going to turn on our quick comm station here. And now we're going to accept that the initial GPS position has been accepted. Excuse me, to both sides. And there we go. And then the next thing we'll be doing is getting right into the flight plan. Just know that this works a little bit different. Sí, listo, solo espera el día. Yeah, nice, nice. It says he's ready. He's just waiting for Christmas Day. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so while we're doing this, let's get our sim brief all cracked up. And okay, we're going to do 58 passengers. And we're doing 3190 on the cargo. Okay, we're also monitoring that center of gravity. And the total fuel that we need is 5,900 pounds. Okay, so if we look here, 58 packs, 3190 on the cargo, 5,900 packs. The time en route is going to be 56 minutes. Okay, that looks good. 58 passengers, total cargo, total fuel. Now we can go to the load summary, confirm the load, start loading. Alright, let's get our PAC-X going here. Okay, we'll be 20,000 feet. It always gets it wrong, I don't know why. Alright, no music there. We're just going to get going here. Let's look at some winds here. Okay, first and foremost, the CTAF here is going to be 19.5. And we'll get this, of course, 1228. Then you'll notice on the first comm stack here now, this is VHF1 and standby controlled by what's up there, so you're not going to see it up there. We just need to make sure that we got good volume here. And then this is how we decide to transmit, whether it's on, you know, we want to switch it to this frequency or this frequency in order to communicate. Alright, so that's looking good. We got our weather eye. We'll get that on standby once we leave.
All large carry-on items are in the overhead bins and your small items are underneath in front of you.
Alright, so weather here is 080, 14 knots. We're expecting runway 14.
After you put your carry-on
Temperatures
items
24,
in the
QNH
full, make sure you
3022.
close it as a courtesy to other passengers.
Now we'll come here and we'll go
that
menu.
the aisle is clear and sit down so that way other passengers can get by you. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please review the exit seating responsibilities and the safety cards provided for you. Please make sure that you are able and willing to perform these actions.
Okay, we'll
If you're
take
not,
14.
please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be reseated.
Slight
You are
crosswind.
free to use your portable electronic devices during the boarding process. We ask that larger electronic devices are stowed once
We're
you
doing
depart.
the Preddies.
Thank you and welcome aboard.
And of course, we're out to Nico. All right.
We're on your time now. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 318 with service to Florida. Our flight time will be roughly 56 minutes. Now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your large devices are
So
not
we're
shut down
doing good.
and stowed. Please fasten your seatbelt and make sure that all tray tables and seat backs are in a full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, secure doors for departure.
And after looking at the kind of like our flight path, we're going to use Chet's as our initial approach fix. So now we can just type in our destination, which is Florida Keys. And then now we can go back to menu for arrival. And we're going to be arriving on runway 09. No star. But the approach. Let's see here. Got RNAV. 9. And there we go. So the landing elevation is literally 38. So what I like to do is come up here and we can just pressurize down to 0, so we won't be doing anything. The pressurization will be in the auto mode there. So we're good. So we don't need to set that up anymore. Let's go ahead and finish setting up the FMCs and then we're out of here. So that looks good, guys. Now we've got to go over to our fuel page. Packs. We got 58.
Good day, this is Southwest Airlines 616. We are west of Nassau. We are preparing for the RNAV approach into runway 10.
Alright, my man rolling. Okay, guys, so we're going to put 58 in there. Pax weight 911. Okay. Cargo. What was our cargo? 3190. Let's see. Okay, taxi full, landing fuel. Total cargo 3190. $4,029.50 times 2. Total of 5,900 pounds of fuel. Just to double check, that's what's on board. Okay, our estimated takeoff weight was 57,919 and we got 57,443. That's good. Now we'll see if we can make the fuel make sense. Sometimes these numbers can get off here. So our alternate fuel is 1287. Contingency or hold fuel is going to be 573. Let's see, or I could just say the total reserves literally is 2.7. Let's try this. Basically 2,700 pounds of fuel. Alright, there we go. That's good enough for government work right there. Alright, so now we've got to come over here to the other side here and get it straight. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the flight plan. You can hear the door closing. We're going to cross fill it from FMS1. Then all you got to do, like you'll see sometimes a discontinuity like that, all you got to do is just hit menu, go to arrive. You really don't got to do anything. Just go back to flight plan. It should all be in there now. There it is. It's all in there. Nothing you got to do. Let's cross fill it. Let's cross fill the fuel. So we're going to go menu, crossfill.
Southwest Airlines
FS1.
616 is on final runway 10.
And then now we'll put this on the nav. And we've got the first fix to Freddy. Let's double check that on our departure here, which is Freddy. Okay, so it'll be straight out of heading a 143. Then Freddy, then here's somebody inbound right here. You can see him there. So let's go ahead and set up our heading here. And then we can get out of here. Cass in the house. What's up, my G? Good to see you, Cass. He says points. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Okie dokie, guys. So, without further ado, door is closed. Let's get the altimeters in there before we start up and get the glare shit all set up. Altimeter is 3022. And I think I have it where, yeah, cross fills in this one. All we got to do is put it in here. Now, both of these navigation sources by default, when you turn it on, are on the VOR 1. So what you got to do is come up here to this nav source, and we're going to cycle it over until it says FMS. Now it says FMS, and it's got it to Freddy. You're going to have to do the same thing to this side here on the first officer, so we'll cycle that over. Now it says FMS1, which is what we want. Then, of course, our GPWS landing flap, we're going to make it for the call-outs for 15. Okay? Flap 35, approach standard. So then you can also go steep. We're going to go we're going to go standard, but I might also decide to go steep because there's usually terrain over there. We're going to get the anti-skid on so that when the aircraft fires up, the anti-skid will already be on. Let's go ahead and set our heading to 143. And we're going up to flight level 200, so let's get our flight level up to 200 here. And there we go. Now what we want to do is go altitude select. We want to go yaw damper on. That'll stay on for the duration of the flight and the taxi. And of course, if we wanted to pitch up before, we could literally go vertical speed and then nose up. So we'll say about 2,200 feet per minute, and that will literally little X-plane pause. That will literally get us up until we get a climb speed of about 170. Then we'll go indicated airspeed. So for now, we'll go in that heading mode for 143. And actually, once we take off, since we're going to be RNAVing right to Freddy, we can actually go straight onto the nav mode, and we'll keep 143 there. And we've already got altitude select, and we've already got our vertical speed situation here. So we are good to go there. We're going to have terrain on both radars, or on both screens, if you will, but we're going to go ahead and start the aircraft first and then get the flap set for takeoff, which will be flap 5s, and then we'll get our speeds going, and then we're out of here. So let me just make sure we don't have any other ATC to worry about, which we don't. All right, guys. Let's get this thing started so we can 100% get out of here. Okay, so we want to go to door systems first. And all door systems are closed and confirmed. Okay, now we'll go to our fuel systems over here so we can go ahead and start the engine. All right. Let's go ahead and start the APU. Go ahead and start that up. Now we won't turn on the bleed air right away because the bleed air in this aircraft comes off. The bleed air is not used to start the engine. So now that generator's on. So now it's I've connected the generator, but it still says warn. We gotta disconnect the external power, and then it goes on right away. And for those few seconds, we can, you know, get the recirculation fan on back, make it comfortable for the passengers. We're gonna go ahead and get that fasten seatbelt on now, and we can go ahead and disconnect that GPU. Okay, we'll just kind of have some things up here. We're not going to do it for time's sake. Excuse me. Let's go right side. Looks good. Come to the back to the flight deck door.
Nassau.
Flight deck door is closed.
Nassau traffic. Good day. This is Southwest 616. Crossing
All right.
runway
So now we're going to get our anti-collision in the up there. And let's just start scanning our panels. DC control is good. Main bus is tied. Once we get the engine generators on, they'll connect automatically. We'll untie the bus. That is good. We'll get our ice protection and our PDOS on for good reads on our gauges so that we have all of our external instrument reading equipment in the go. Pressurization is going to be in the auto. We already have our landing altitude set, which is basically 38, so we'll be pressurizing down to 0 feet. Up here is our lighting panel. That's good. APU is on. Here's our engine start. We don't have any fuel to worry about in this aircraft up here because we'll be monitoring it here with the props here. Takeoff trims are already set. Parking brake is currently set. And let's look out to the right side. We don't need any pushback. We are in a props area. So we're good to go there, guys. All right. So we're going to basically do start and feather. We're going to bring the right one up to start once we get 3 here on our torque, and then that'll come up. So without further ado, red collision is light on. Passenger seat belts, no smoking is on. The position light is on, as well as our emergency light. And we are ready for start. We're going to call out starting the right engine. All right, we're going to wait for this to get to 3, and then we'll introduce fuel. All right, let's get a good start on that ignition again.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your complete attention to the flight attendants as they demonstrate the safety features of our aircraft. You will notice a light illuminated above your seat. When this light is illuminated, please fasten your seatbelt low and tight across the
Attention all aircraft. London Findling International
to one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift up
Nassau traffic. This is Southwest Airlines 616. We are currently talking.
Yeah, what up, Leo? I might be flying a second leg. No, just a regular sound pack that it comes with this aircraft. I never felt like I needed a sound pack with this one. But yeah, if not, I might be flying a second leg from Key West back to over here to Nassau. If you want to join up, my G, good to see you, fam.
Place it firmly over your nose and mouth.
All right, we're going to go ahead and start the first engine. We'll bring this up first for start and feather.
Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first and then assist others. Keep your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it is safe to remove it. In the unlikely event of a water landing, a life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Flip it over your head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tighten. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If your life vest does not inflate automatically, blow into the mouthpieces for manual inflation. Each vest is equipped with a whistle and light. If necessary, your seat cushion can be used as a
Alright, looking good there. So now what we're going to do, we're going to make sure the prop area in front of us is clear. What airline so I can find a livery? Look for Bahamas Air. Here, look at this one, Leo. Bahamas Air here. You can find that on, believe, TO, X-Plane TO. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and bring this all the way up into the takeoff. We suggest reading this and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us, and we hope you enjoy your flight. Alright, we got in-top right now. We got both engines on. Now what we can do, we're going to untie the main bus. We no longer need the bleed air from the generator. We can actually get the bleeds from the engines now. We're going to turn that generator off, and we're going to turn the power off. And now we've got some good air conditioning back there for the packs. We'll take off, and then once we get the engines out of the max climb, we're going to go back into normal on the bleeds. Now what we've got to do here, guys, you can see here we've got in top, but we want to switch that up. So we're going to first of all get our tank 1 auxiliary pump on, tank 2 standby hydraulic pressure, and our PTU control, which that's also to push hydraulics around. We want to get our auto feather on there, and then we're going to go max climb here, and then now we're at max takeoff power. Okay, now auto feather is selected. That's good. And we are totally going to be out to Freddy. Let's go ahead and set flaps 5. Now you can see our tank pumps are on. Transfers are off. Valves are closed here for the fuel. Looking good. Let's check our electrical systems. Here's our electrical systems here. You can see there's no more load on the APU, and there's generator 1 load and generator 2 load. There's no load on it right now. Okay, let's go back to our nav systems. And now we'll have this on for the first officer. The flaps are selected and indicating. Now if we go over here, you just tap down here, this will give us our rotate speeds. We got a V rotate of 126. In order to do our flight controls tech, gust lock must be removed. Full up, full down, aileron left, aileron right, neutral. Free and clear. Rudder right, rudder left. It's also tiller, which brings us to our next point. In this aircraft, you do have to turn the nose steering wheel on. And nose steering wheel is on, guys. Terrain is already on, and we'll get our weather to standby. Weather's on standby, and we're good to go. Finally, we never received any type of there you go, 2200. We never received our squawk code, so there we go. Hey, Chris, man, what up, man? Good to see you. Airline BHS, Bravo Hotel Sierra, Bahamas Air, my G. All right, let's go ahead and get our taxi lights on. Let's get our pilots on. Wiper. Let's warm up that windshield. Window heat on. There we go. All right. We're going to taxi via hotel. Nassau traffic, Bahamas Air 318 here at the terminal. Will be taxiing the runway 14 via hotel for departure on the Freddy's 2. Put us out to the west for Nassau. Parking brake is off.
Bahamas 318, I'm not sure if you know, but however, you should have squawk 0032. Just making sure you knew.
Okay, appreciate you. Why am I squawking 0013?
No, it's 0032, and you should have it in auto ATC, so that's why I'm telling you, just advising.
Okay, my man, I appreciate it. For Bahamas Air 318.
No problem, Bahamas 318.
He's saying I should squawk a different squawk code, but that's for ATC, so not understanding that, but we'll just, you know, take them. My man is trying to be helpful, so we'll just help it out. But ATC assigns a squawk code, and then there's your emergency squawk, so we're just gonna squawk 2200 until further notice, my G's. And to me, this is one of those aircraft that I never needed a sound pack for this one. To me, it sounds awesome already, as is. And Nassau traffic, Bahamas Air 318 entering runway 14 for departure out of the Freddy's 2. Nassau. Just whatever free sceneries. I've had these sceneries for a while, Leo, so I can't tell you what sceneries, but there are some free sceneries for Key West. You know, that I'm using. This is like sceneries that are still working for me from X-Plane 11. Alright guys, we're all lined up here. Alright, en route timer is started. Alright, we're looking for 126. Alright, into the flight we go for the spoilers. Alright, takeoff speed is set. Takeoff power is set, I should say. We're looking for 126, right rudder. 80 knots. And rotate. Positive rate. You're up. Okay, we're going to indicate an airspeed climate. She climbs out best. A little windy here. Okay, something here is fighting me on this thing. Alright, let's go climb power. Flaps up, and we're gonna go bleeds to norm. Okay, we're getting ready to make a left turn here. Props are at the 900, and something was binding on my flight yoke here. Got a right turn coming here. Looks like we're into some haze here. So we're just going to fly an instrument here. $6,700. See, something is binding on this thing. See that? Alright. Autopilot's handed over. Okay, we can get auto feather off. We no longer need that. We can turn our hydraulic tank 1 and tank 2 auxiliary pumps off. And we can also turn the standby hydraulic pressure off. Bleeds are back to normal, which we did. And
turn on larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the duration of the flight.
There we go,
Not
folks.
form a line
10,000.
near the left point. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. If you wish to connect to the Wi-Fi, you'll be directed to a page with a small fee for internet access. We do offer complimentary in-flight TV thanks to our partners. Connect to the Wi-Fi and you'll be able to access our wide range of free live TV and paid movies library. The flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can now get up and move around the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when seated in case of unexpected turbulence.
Alright guys, we can get the terrain off. And weather's on standby. And now the weather's on. Okay, we got the weather on there as well. And you can see, looks like we got some traffic out there as well. $14,500 climbing. Now we may or may not rock a full flaps landing in Key West. And of course, once we get to climb cruise, we'll put the props in the climb power here in 850 mode, which is the minimum operational flight operational setting for the conditioners, and they'll stay to that until we get up final approach, and then which will go all the way back up to 1,000 mode or landing with a potential go around. Guys, we got about 3,500 to go till the top of climb. Let's see what our minimums are for the landing. Minimums for the landing are 250. Either way, touchdown elevation is 3, so let's see, this is only different. So either I gotta do 250 either way. Decision height is 250 as well. And there you go. Decision height 250. And we're in the standard pressure now. Standard pressure. All right. And I'll see if I even go in Miami Center's airspace. So we are going to go in Miami Center's airspace. They are 32.2. Let's just tune into them now.
Emirates 213 Alpha Heavy, runway 12, clear to land. Runway 16, clear to land, 230 Alpha. Argentinian 1301 Heavy, fly heading 360.
Heading 360, Argentinian 1301 Heavy, thank you.
Delta's 482, leaving my airspace, frequency change approved.
Leaving your airspace, frequency change approved, Delta 482.
That is 1654, push back your discretion, advisory.
Okay, we are at 20,000, so let's bring the power levels
Number
back
112, 30 speed to 200, descend and maintain
to
2,000.
850.
2,000, see what white one. Argentinian 1301 Heavy, maintain 200 knots until advised.
200 to advise, Argentinian 1301.
That is 500, radar contact, maintain flight level 330.
Now we're going to go to D now.
Disregard.
Chats. Let's see what. Oh, excuse me.
Miami Center, United 500, will request 350.
That is 500, climb and maintain flight level 350.
350, thank you very much.
Expected 575, clear at Key West Airport. Clear direct Key West, exec jet 575. Argentinian 1301 Heavy, reduce speed to 180.
Reduce speed 180, 1301 Heavy.
J10 305 Heavy, say parking. J10 305 Heavy, taxi to the ramp. American 2779, flighting 300. K300, American, please November 1 Echo Alpha, flighting 070, intercept the runway 8 right, final approach course, descend and maintain 2,000.
So, if we're gonna hit Chats at 3,000,
PSI 090, Argentinian 1301.
Argentinian 1301 Heavy, clear approach runway 9.
Let's actually come here. We got 113 to Russell, and then from Russell to Chets, we'll go 30,000 feet, I mean 3,000 feet. Okay, so that's doable. So just to give us an idea of our descent, we're going to be in Miami Center's airspace if he stays on. But we'll just enter that, and we can look and see about 26 minutes until we start our top descent. All right, y'all. Lutanian Orchestra says those interior graphics look amazing. I appreciate that, for real. James says,
Back at 1369 Jacksonville Center's offline frequency change approved. November 1 I file for runway.
I see. So he's saying that they're saying VATSIM is changing where you got to be at least 16 years or older. That sucks, man. With children, I know that goes. Roger that. Yeah, a posibilidad, yo no sé. Yo tengo que leer. Siempre están cambiando cosas. VATSIM. VATSIM es muy progressive. Siempre están, you know, tratando a poner cosas mejor para nosotros a volar. And so, you know, what I found is most of the kids that I've heard on VATSIM are very respectful. They're just trying. You get a few that are messing around. I find it's more like the young adults. Sometimes, you know, late teens, early 20s that don't have any home training that kind of act up. I really rarely ever found a kid really being bad on VATSIM, and I'm sure there are cases of that, most definitely. But I do want to encourage any of those kids to jump on and fly if they can, especially if they're being respectful, which they should if they got parents. You know, the parents are the ones that need to foster an environment where the young adults know what behavior is appropriate. So kids, on this one, actually, I'm going to give you guys a shout out, man. I heard over the years of me flying on VATSIM, I really haven't heard kids doing too bad on here. If anything, they're just trying. Yeah, every now and then, they don't know what they're doing, but they're not being disrespectful, and they're not using the platform to horseplay. That's other folks. That's my 2 cents, man. Okay, let's increase the range here. Okay, so now you can see there's a little band of weather out there.
Section 575, any preference on an approach this evening or just a
We'll
visual?
max this side out.
Visual's fine for Section 575. Section 575, time maintain 2000, expect visual runway 9, advise any other field. Repeat altitude for Section 575, 2000 for Section 575, 2000, advise any other airport site, and visual runway 9. Down to 2000, we'll expect visual runway 9 on Fort Hill site for Section 575. Barry 2779, flighting 130, intercept below classic. Put up for 130, look at American 2639. American Center, Cam 1427, rescue flight number 20. Cam 1427, Miami Center, I'm closing up shop, you can change advisory frequency. Alright, enjoy your evening, buddy.
Okay, we're about 19 minutes in the air.
Miami Center, United 1654, with the Yankee ready for taxi.
So I think he's getting ready to get off. Yeah, I haven't heard a soul. So 20 minutes until our descent. I'm glad we already set that that VNAV situation up. Let's come over here to the first officer side and see. Okay, weather's on.
Miami Center, Argentina, aquí 01, begin at uniform.
I honestly think the dude got off.
Miami Center is open. Oops.
So we'll go back to Honeycomb here. All right, now let's see what the CTAP there is. In Key West. Key West CTAP is 18.2. So we'll be ready for that. Then we'll get the weather here shortly. And like I said, we got about 19 miles until we make our descent to hit Chet's at 3,000. Now, in order to get ready for that, we are currently at 20,000 feet, but we can go ahead and set our target altitude to 3,000. Bye, yeah. And then there's a few things that we'll need to do, but we'll need to hit VNAV once we get closer. So right now we'll stay here on our altitude hold, but once we get closer and we get within range of our vertical, basically speed indicator here, or our vertical profile will come up based off of our proximity to Chet's. It'll activate in here in magenta, and we'll hit VNAV, and then of course we'll hit the altitude select, and then we'll be on the way down. Right now aircraft is in the max cruise here, MCR, 850 props, and torque is looking good. Oil levels and temperatures are looking good. Little standard pause there. We got 69 pressurized both for the oil, and then we've got a temperature of 95. The ITT was the inlet turbine temperature is at 534 both props. That's good. So we're making it happen. We're going to be passing this band here of pretty much probably get some turbulence once we get into here. There we go, just that little band there. 20,000 feet cruising, y'all. We're doing all right here. So we got about 17 minutes. Gotta pull that up. Okay, guys, I will be right back with you, man. Enjoy. Let's get some tunes on for the time being. And I'll be back in a flash, my G's. All right. Back in action we go. Got wife and my daughter coming home, so I had to jump off. Figure these things out, man. So it looks like they just optimized the weather radar for this side and not the other side, so we won't even turn it on over here. We'll keep terrain on the other side. We don't have any frequencies to tune because it is an RNAV approach. Fuel on board looks good. We're right at 4,040 pounds of fuel. Okay, here is the magenta line that we're talking about. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come over here and hit VNAV and then altitude select. The altitude select basically indicates to the aircraft that not only is this your target altitude, but that the aircraft needs to go back onto the altitude hold mode at the specified altitude. So this almost acts like a general aviation aircraft and the basic autopilot system that you would have to let it know that. So we've got our VNAV selected, our alt selected, and then of course once we start seeing this magenta indicator fall down towards the center of our altitude here, it will basically capture, and then we will follow the glide slope down. And if you want to know what the glide slope is, base right now, it's going to be a negative 3.05 slope. And that'll happen in about 5.9 minutes, folks.
From the entire flight crew, we once again thank you for traveling with us. We will begin our descent shortly and would like to remind you to place your seats in the upright position, stow your tray tables, and surrender any trash to the flight attendant as they prepare the cabin for arrival. We would also like to remind you that your viewership is highly valuable to us and always appreciated. If you would like to increase your support of the channel, a donation link can be found in the video description, along with other ways to stay connected with the Dre Sanchez YouTube channel and this airline. We hope your flight has been pleasant and look forward to seeing you all for your future travel needs. See you on the ground.
Okay, we're going to slightly pull that power back a little bit.
Customs at our destination, flight attendants will begin handing out forms momentarily. Please review and complete these forms and keep them with you for presentation upon arrival.
Alright, altimeter is 3023. Winds are 090 at 15 knots. Let's bring that power back a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign is now turned on, so it's time to return to your seat and fasten your seatbelt.
3023. Now, one thing we're also going to observe
off the fasten seatbelt
is
sign.
after
Now
Chet's
get up and move about the cabin. However, we ask
Atnall.
seatbelt fasten when in case of unexpected turbulence.
It's 35. We're gonna make that 2,000. So now we have Atnot 2,000, bus B at 1,500. Okay, so the airport is over here, and that even looks like that's the runway there. Key West traffic, Bahamas 318 is de Havilland -8 Q400 out of 14,300 on a 277 heading, extended left downwind, runway 09. Will be transitioning at Chet's onto the RNAV 09 full stop, Key West traffic. All right, you guys. Alright, decided to text my daughter, mates. Alright, nice clear day to land. It'll be visual too if we need to. Runway is 5,000 feet. And basically everything happens down here. I've never landed west, but it'd be a nice straight in if we did with no trees. Alright, 121 will be our approach speed. And it's pretty safe to say now we can get our terrain radar on as well. Weather is a non-factor. And we're just going to put that weather radar bar to standby. And speed is good. We'll keep it right about 230 until we start turning base. And we'll start slowing down for that final.
We have begun our final descent into Florida. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time.
And the lights.
Please ensure three tables are
We'll
secured.
get taxi lights once the gear comes down.
Please also store
And we
any
can get the
carry-on
wing
items
inspection
either in
light.
the back pocket or under the seat cushion. Please complete all Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any larger electronics.
And we got 47 minutes of flying time so far. Once we make this turn, we'll slow down and give us plenty of time to hit that 2,000 constraint there. Welcome, Cylon. Cylon says that he heard this bird is a little complicated to learn. Do you see that to be the case? I'm currently flying the Embraer 504 Phenom 300 and X-Plane for my daily fire for comparison. So, yes, study level aircraft, but definitely not hard to learn, my friend. So, as a pilot, you know, it's like driving a car, you know what I mean? You get in a car, you know the rules, how to drive the car, you know how to use the mirrors, you know how to use the steering wheel, you know how to use the features of the car, although they may be in different places, although may be a nuance to the car that is different than other cars. So same thing here. Okay, roger that, Leo. Same thing here. You know, it's not hard to learn, it's just things happen a little different in the aircraft, and namely it's really the FMC, and then it is a turboprop, not a jet, so there are proppy things that you got to worry about, like knowing when you know, advanced fuel conditioners and all that good stuff. But other than that, to answer your question, Cylon, if you're flying the Embraer 505 Phenom, you for sure can fly this, and it is not hard to learn at all, my friend, I promise you. Dash A and gang tonight, yes sir. Yes sir, my G. Hey Leo, I'm sure you're streaming it. I know you are. And I'm just gonna do the leg back to Key West, my G, and that's gonna be it. I mean, I'm sorry, to Nassau. Key West traffic, Bahamas Air 318, continuing on the left downwind leg for runway 09. We'll be overhead Chet's in 6 miles, and we'll go left base there. Key West traffic. Now, again, Cylon, just another thing to just let you know is procedurally on the aircraft, there are things you'll need to learn. For example, you cannot have the bleeds in normal with the props to full. Okay, you'll have to have them in low. Conversely, if you're going to run the anti-ice, you need to have the bleeds in max. Get all that bleed air off, which helps the anti-icing system to do what it's got to do. Now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to keep it in the vertical profile. And as you can see now, I'm going to use my Bravo here to bring it down to 1500 for now. And then ultimately it's an RNAV approach, so I'm going to bring it down to 300, and from there I should have the aircraft, no matter what, controlled, autopilot off. Shouldn't be an issue. You're most welcome, Cylon. You got this, my G, for sure. And Keys traffic, Bahamas Air 318. Left base, runway 09, full stop. Okay, now look at our speed. You want to be nice and slow on these turns. And I'm going to even pull the speed back a little bit. Allow the aircraft its best opportunity to make that altitude. Even though if it doesn't, our next one at buzz speed is 1,500 feet. And we'll definitely have more. Now on a nice sharp turn like this, it's all good because there's a lot of resistance once you start rolling that wing. So we were able to slow down nicely. We're still on our profile there. And we should be able to make 2K here. Speed is good. Now there are some trees here towards the end. Check. Okay, guys, we're getting ready to go left base here. And Keys traffic, we are now Bahamas Air 318 vacating our left base, turn to final, runway 09, full stop. Keys traffic. Alright, so we're pretty much getting back on that vertical profile there. Gonna keep about 160 here. And we're about to start configuring, guys, for landing. We've got 5 to Busby. And then from Busby to runway 9, another 5. So we're basically on a 10-mile final. And we still got that vertical profile going good. Let's bring this down to 100. Okay, guys. Landing gear's coming down. Bleeds to minimum. Props to full. Auxiliary tanks 1 and 2 on. Standby hydraulic pressure on. Speed is good. First stage flaps. Second stage flaps. Okay, 121 will basically be our final approach speed. And from here, guys, we're going to go ahead and autopilot off. Good visual day to land this thing. I do have the runway visual. Let's get a feel for it. Keys traffic, Bahamas Air 318 is on a 6-mile final, runway 09 full stop. Keys traffic. Okay, we're about 1,600 above. Okay, gears down, 3 green, confirm. We got one more stage of flaps to go. Crosswind component. So something is stuck in my controller, which annoys me. That's all right. We don't want to be too high. There goes Leo there. Flaps 15. All right, guys, here we go. Let's make our money.
500.
No pressure, no pressure.
Roger that. And Key West traffic, Bahamas Air 318, short final 09, full stop.
Minimums. Minimums.
Continue.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Whoa, that was the hard one. I gotta get, it seemed like I was going into reverse in the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Florida. The local time is 12:26 p.m. and it's currently about 74 degrees Fahrenheit.
So that's one thing that's annoying about the aircraft is that little gate that you gotta go over.
Stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off.
Flaps up.
Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bin as items may have shifted during the flight. We thank you for flying with us.
APU starting. All right. So we'll see what that was here shortly. My throttles in the air, they were doing something weird. So this is the first time I'm flying in with this. So I got to figure out what stage they were in. This thing has a gate that you got to lift it up over in order to advance the throttles, if you will. Let's see, that's Leo there. We're just going to come straight over here. It's Mike Yankee November November. Mike Yankee November November. Cylon, Mike Yankee November November. I'm sorry. That's Key West is Kilo Echo Yankee Whiskey, and Nassau is Mike Yankee November November. So we're gonna fly from here, which is Key West, to Nassau. All right. Parking brake is set. Gust lock is set. Let's bring those props back. Tie the bus. Bleeds off. All right. Anti-collision off. No smoking off. And why isn't our generator connecting? There we go. Generator's on. We're good to go. And welcome, guys, to Florida Keys. We'll see how that looked, man. I'm going to do a quick replay, you guys. And then while you guys get loaded up. Standby. There we go. Just trying to wait for PAC-X so we can get our horrible landing rate. I feel like I slammed her down. I'll throw the codes in here for you, my G. It's Key West to... There you go, my friend. All right, let's see what we did. That's a slammer downer, I know for sure. Negative 357, so that's what they're saying is that part. But hey, it's still good. Still not a -6, so we will take it. All right, so let's get rid of this, guys, and I'm gonna log off for a second and get you some tunes. All right. Let's see what this replay is talking about, man. So, a little bit of a, you know, out of my Dre Sanchez landing, but hey, we had a power problem, man. All right, I'll be right back with y'all. That is Leo and the other flyer, Cylon, so we can get on up out of here, fam bam Maruskis. All right, let's see what's cracking here, fam bam Maruskis. So my problem is right here is I was fighting with the power and it just seemed like it was doing something weird. But still a centerline landing and just a firm butter. Ooh, that was still nice. I mean, it was still a centerline landing, but it's just, I could have made it smoother, but I'm over there fighting with the power. And on a prop, it's different than a jet. A prop, you're pretty much, especially this one, you're pretty much going to leave the power set just until your gear are getting ready to touch. Then you can slightly pull it back. I pulled it back because it felt like the power was increasing and I needed it to decrease. Let's check that out again, fam bam Maruskis. Let me see what a shift 3 will do. Yeah, that's tight. Firm butter, center line. You need those every now and then. I haven't flying it, Cylon, but I like planes like that. I like planes that don't give you the cookie cutter, you know, ease that some people are used to flying in these aircraft. So it gives you more of a challenge. So right at the touchdown mark still. Roger that, my G. I will check it out for sure. All right, while that's going, guys, I'm just going to do a really quick restart of X-Planes, so we got no problems, man. Appreciate you guys hanging out for sure. All right, fam Bamaruskis, let's log back on for our return flight. Okay, we finally got auto ATC. 4550. All right, let's get in here and get some power on this bad boy. All right, first and foremost, let's slide over here. Boom. Connect the GPU. Battery master, main, aux, standby. And no smoking, of course. Let's get our position light on. And guys, let's get our systems on here, man. Let's do it. Turn that bad boy on. We're just getting our screens on right now. And of course, and let's turn this system on, as well as get our radio stack on. Let's go ahead and put our squawk in now, since we got a squawk 4550. It's going to hit this. There we go. Are there any AI powered traffic mods that you can practice your radio transmitting skills on? I would hate to hop on VATSIM and make a pull out myself for the radio. You'll be fine. Just listen to us, Cylon. There's no ATC on right now. Basically, you're going to call, you know, your aircraft. If you're taxiing, what taxiways you're going to use to the runway. Then we're going to just say we're departing out to the east. It almost should be a straight out departure, man. So this is your best time to practice it with us with no ATC on. Yo, Spawning, what's up, my G? So give it a try, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tune in Leo if you're paying attention. Let's go boom boom room, comms 2. So comms 2, guys, 1 2 3 4 5, and turn your systems up. Boom boom room check-in. All right, we'll see if Leo's on boom boom room. If not, we'll get it there. 18.2 is the field frequency, so we know that much. Let's switch it back over here. Comms check 18.2. Tango Mike. All right.
Hey, Dre, real quick, how do you the mic selector to select COM2?
Okay, roger that. If you look at my stream, look, you got VHF1, VHF2. Sometimes you have to tap them where the cursor turns to a hand at the top and just monitor your plugin. And then you also have this selector, which technically this selector, rotary selector here, is supposed to be what switches your transmit, but you'll have to tap them and play with them. All right, so let's get this thing all loaded up. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. What we got?
Yeah, it seems like it's just staying transmitting on COM1. I've got a monitor on COM2.
Yeah, Roger. So I think it's a bug, but generally speaking, that little rotary knob, once you switch it over from VHF1, VHF2, it should technically switch it. So switch the rotary knob to which one you want to transmit on. When the hand turns over the VHF2, tap it and then tap it on and off, and you'll see the transmit will switch from VHF1 to VHF2, and you can still be monitoring too. So you'll have to play around with rotating them, tapping them, and moving this, and you'll see. Just monitor your client, the XPilot client, and it'll work for you, my G.
Okay, got it. So you have to just rotary to 2 and then tap the knob. Pretty simple. Well, what's up, my G? We on Volvo.
He's silly. Let's get it. Let's rotate it. Yeah, my G, it sounds good. I had to make sure before I gave my animated response that I was transmitting on the right one. What up, my G? Time to do this, dog. We gonna get this leg in. We got a dash party going to Nassau.
Yeah, Roger, and just confirm, you told old boy we was going direct east. I've actually got a flight plan turning me to Carnew, just north of here, and then east. So pretty much following the little coast of Florida there.
And you're absolutely right. Looking at my flight plan, it is the same thing. So we'll let my man, you know, we're going to say we're turning out call to the north, but we'll just do it first so he can kind of hear us. But you're absolutely right. That's what I got. Carnew, HST, Sands, and then direct. They got me landed runway 10 into Nassau.
Okay, A-firm. So me, I changed to 14. I'm going to be direct to Henzi from Sands, and that's going to put me pretty much in the right base at Henzi.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what I'm going to do, too. Switch 14. That's what I departed on, too. You know, it's just sim brief anyway. So, yeah, I'll take 14. That's the easiest one to tax to anyway.
Yeah, A-firm. All right, give me a call when you're ready to go. We're sitting here. I'm going to finish up some final preparations as far as the perf and everything, and then we'll be good to go.
Okay, appreciate you, my G. Same here. We're going to get our PAC-X going and throw in this flight plan really quick, load the plane, and we'll be Audi 5000, my G.
All right, 2 on you.
You silly. Really, you won.
Nah, dog, this your show. Yeah, that's what I said in chat. This your show, dog. I'm just supporting.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, dog. You know how I do, though, dog. All right, 1, 2, 3, it don't matter. We all going to Bahamas, baby. All right, that's my dog Leo, man. Big up. Go check him out. He's streaming. He's doing big things. He stays very cutting edge with his streaming stuff. So great quality and a good friend for sure. Cargo, we got 3575. Let's enter that. And then fuel, we got 5,900 pounds of fuel. Enter that. Center of gravity is still good. And, of course, that's going to be 0. And the flying time is 53 minutes. Okay, 65 packs, 3575 on the cargo, 5,900 pounds of fuel, and we've got 53 minutes of flying time. All right, confirm load, start loading. Let's go ahead and get our PAC-X, crack-a-lack-a-douches, crack-a-lack-a-dishes. We're doing 2-3. We're going 65 packs. We're going to play some board music this day. We're going to do 5. All right. So plane is being loaded. Not too much you really need to get in here since it's such a small airport. We're going to come here. And let's see if it allows us to put a departure in. 1. No SID. Flight plan. And we got Carnew. After Carnu, we have HST. And then from Homestead, we got Sands. Which is 138 nautical miles. And then, of course, we got Key West. I'm sorry. Now we can go right into the menu, select an approach. We said we're doing 1.4 with my G Leo. And there will be none. And the approach will be on the ILS.
At this time, please be sure to make sure all large carry-on items are in
Now let's take a look.
and your small items are unleashed in front of you. If you have any trouble or need any assistance, please don't hesitate to
We don't
let
need. Well, we'll do
know.
a chart here just because,
If
but
the overhead bin is
basically
full,
one
please make
taxiway.
sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers. Please double check that all your items are put away so that the aisle is clear and other passengers can make their way to their seats. If you're in an emergency exit row, please read the exit seating responsibilities in the card in the seat back in front of you. If you're not able to comply with these actions, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be reseated. You are free to use your portable electronic devices during the boarding process. We ask that larger electronic devices are stowed once you depart from the gate. Thank you and welcome aboard. We're sorting out an issue with someone's baggage. It shouldn't take too long.
Sands, yeah, we'll do the initial approach Hinsey. Go ahead and enter that. Now we'll go to the flight plan. So all we have to do here at 5 is we're going to delete these discontinuities. Take that off. And then at Hinsey.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard
Let's see.
Flight 383.
Mooney
Our flight time will be roughly
is
53
2,000.
Please note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are
So
now
that'll
shut down
be what
and
we
stowed.
base
If you have not already, please fasten
our
your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray tables and seat backs must be in the full upright
VNav
launch
on.
position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare
Bye, yo.
for departure.
So that's good. Then we'll take it in. Mooney. And then F114. And we'll be on the ILS by then. Let's go fuel. Packs 65. Enter that. Cargo was $35.75. Let's get this third screen on. Alright, while that screen is coming on, we're going to put our anti-skid on. Yaw damper comes on already. And nav source, FMS1. FMS1, and we're almost going to have this be where we need to be so that we can take a look at the fuel parameters. Okay, fuel on board 2950, so 5900. Okay, we said what the cargo was 35, I believe. Yeah, 35.75. 5,900 pounds. And we're just going to do the fuel reserve. Final reserve, total reserve for us is 27. It's good enough for government work. 5,900 pounds of fuel. You guys know the deal. We're going to come right over here. Flight plan. We're going to cross-fill it. From Flight Management System 1 or CDU 1. Then we just got to go menu, arrive, flight plan, and it's all in there. And then of course we're going to go into our fuel page and we're going to cross that over. And this of course would be in the event you got somebody flying right seat, because they work independently. Why would you really wouldn't need to do this unless you need to do something over there, you know, unless you got another pilot, which this is a 2-pilot aircraft. Let's get the okay, 060, 10 gusting 18, and temperature's 23, altimeter is 3020. All right, 3020. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we got 65, 65. Let's finish this fast load. Okay. Plane is loaded up, man. All right. Let's go here. Let's go now. Car news, so we'll be off. Runway heading. Runway heading. It's 93. All right, so we're going all the way up to flight level 230. And we'll be on the heading of 93. Okay, company traffic, this Bahamas Air 318. I'm going to go ahead and start the engines up and prepare for our taxi for runway 09. I'll be switching over to 18.2 time now, but monitoring the boom boom.
Alright, already on 18.2, we'll coming up on APU as well. And we're gonna roll on too.
Roll that beautiful beam footage. Alright, power's coming up. Start that APU. Just waiting for a good start on the APU there. That bleed air going. Circulation fan there for a second. Let's get rid of that GPU. And let's call out starting the second engine. Okay, we'll get that gust lock back up. Let's bring that up and let's get her going.
Gentlemen, please direct your attention to the front of the aircraft for a safety demonstration. When the seatbelt light is on, please make sure that your seatbelt is fastened low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another. Tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper
So we'll
portion
taxi
up.
Alpha. Looks like there's somebody here on the taxiway.
We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened in case of unexpected turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor level lighting will guide you towards the exit. In the event of a loss of cabin pressure, an oxygen mask will drop in front of you. Set the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards
I
you
love.
and place it firmly over your nose and mouth. Secure the elastic band behind your head and tighten the straps if necessary. And don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask and you can breathe normally. If you're traveling with children, now's the time to pick your favorite one, but secure your mask and then assist others. Keep your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it's safe to remove it. In the unlikely event of a water landing, a life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the
Alright, we
vest.
got to get started on
Push it
both
over your
engines.
head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle up the front. Pull the strap to tighten.
Check you guys out
Replace
here.
the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If your life vest
Rock
does not
City, big
inflate
up my G,
automatically,
big
blow
up.
into
Yeah,
the
say
mouth
intentions,
using
elements in the
manual
house,
input.
man. Good to see you, my
The vest
G.
is equipped with a whistle
Good to
and
see you,
light.
fam bammers.
If necessary, your
All right,
seat can be used as a
we're gonna go ahead and come up with the props.
Pull the cushion from the seat, put your arms into the straps, and hug the cushion to your chest. Please securely stow your personal items. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is prohibited by law. All of this information
Untie the bus.
and more can be found at the safety card located in the
And
seat back in
bleeds
front of you.
are on in the minimum.
And let us know if you have any questions. Stay
Veto
flying
heat.
with us, and we hope you enjoy
Across
your
the
flight.
board. Yaw dampers on, anti-skid on. Set flaps 5 for takeoff. Rotation speed. V1 128, V rotate 128. V2 131, climb out 153, flaps clean. We're going to come back over here to max takeoff. Short field takeoff. And we're going to get our tank 1 and tank 2 auxiliary pumps on, along with our standby hydraulic pressure and our PTU control, which is also to transfer over that necessary hydraulic pressure and fluid that we need. We're going to get the first officer's flight deck onto his nav there, and we're going to go terrain on both. We got terrain on one, and terrain on that side, and we're also going to get our weather to standby. Flight controls check. Up, down. Aileron left. Aileron right. Hopefully my thing works better. I calibrated it when I loaded into the plane before I brought the screen back on. Keys traffic, November, Bahamas Air 318. Currently at the terminal area, will be taxiing to runway 09 via Alpha for departure out to the north. Keys traffic. Alright, so APU's off. Bus is untied. We can go for taxi light.
Bahamas Air 1286 will be following company.
Trims are set.
To runway 09 via Bravo 9 Alpha. Number 2 for departure, Key West.
Alright, don't forget, we got to turn that steering on.
Cabin is ready for takeoff.
Taxiway's clear.
Alright, occupancy will be number 3, Bahamas Air 1286, behind company dash 8.
Okay, aircraft is ready. Last thing we got to do, guys, is get our auto feather armed. Auto feather is armed and selected. And I think this is Cylon down here. He's flying with us.
Never mind, I think that is huge, right? In front of me.
Yeah, roger that. I think Cylon, he's going to be up here on the ramp to the left in this Embraer 505, and he'll fall in number 3.
Okay, roger.
And Cylon, you're in a much faster aircraft. You might want to delay your takeoff. If you want me to catch you on the landing. If not, you could always overfly us. But there he goes right there. Good to see you. Looking official. So I'll fly runway heading visually, but I've already got it RNAV'd. Keys traffic, Bahamas Air 318 will be entering runway 9. For departure out to the north, we'll be doing left crosswind on the departure for our northern turn. We'll call clear of the field for Florida Keys traffic. Alright, anti-collision is on. Final looks clear. We're going to put our spoilers into the flight so they will auto-deploy when necessary. There goes Leo right here. Alright folks, all lined up. Alright, over the gate we go. Takeoff power set. Airspeed's alive.
Bahamas Air 1286, holding short, runway 9er. At Bravo, will be given about 3
80 knots.
for departure traffic, Key West.
Looking for 128. And rotate. And Florida Keys traffic, Bahamas Air 318, clear of runway 9, left crosswind out to the north, final call for Key West. Gears up. Indicated airspeed mode there. Flaps up. And now that we're not in full power, bleeds can come to normal. And we're climbing out 174. Okay, weather radar is on. And radar is coming alive there. Yeah, I'll explain the air bleeds here in a second, my G. Let me get stable and on autopilot, and I got you.
West traffic, Bahamas Air 1286, lining up on runway 9er. Left crosswind, departure to the north, direct Carnu, US.
Alright, autopilot's handed over. Allowing it to settle back down on those flight directors. Alright. After takeoff checklist, we can come out of that auto feather. Auxiliary tanks 1 and 2 can come off. And the standby hydraulic pressure can come off. PTU control is going to stay on. Keep those liquids passing around as they should. Radar's on. Weather radar's on. TCAS is on. And we'll keep all the lights on. Passing 8,000. All right. Booyah. Retired firefighters in the house, man. Good to see you, my dream. I'm doing well. Retired. Thanks for checking in as always. Sorry for my delayed response. So air bleeds. Are you releasing pressure from the turbine itself, or what is it? So air bleeds on this aircraft. The air bleeds are going to be used for your anti-icing on this aircraft, but the air bleeds on this one are not used for much else on this aircraft. On jet aircraft, obviously.
Airplane 12 right now.
On jet air.
Q400 and Q30.
Yeah, on.
Wait for them to release it for Microsoft Flight now.
On jet aircraft, the bleeds are used for starting the engine, as well as the bleed air pressure is also used for the packs, which is for the air conditioning. Now the bleeds on this one don't seem that they're used for the air conditioning, but I could be wrong.
You will be required to pay a small fee if you wish to access it. We do offer complimentary in-flight TV thanks to our partners.
You're silly, James. No, it's called Steak and Shake. Because y'all English, most certainly, a mi casa. That boy in there making steak.
The flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign.
All right, so let's get our lights off.
However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when you hear the news of unexpected turbulence.
And we'll keep everything else on. Let's keep those fasten seatbelts on. I never got that off in departure. One thing I missed. All right, everything is looking good. We should be at our flight level 230 here within the next 20, and then of course we will 100% get into our cruise phase once we're there. Now last time, I'm going to show you guys something on this bird. Last time we didn't have to program anything. This time we do. So we got a heading of 143 and the India Zulu Quebec Alpha, the ILS localizer identifier, and the frequency is 110.1. So first and foremost, we're going to come here and put this frequency in. So we got 110.1. Boom. We're going to put it on this side too.
Key West traffic, Bahamas Air 1286, clear runway 09.
So 110.1, 110.1.
Direct car new, final call.
110-1. Now the final approach course is a heading of 143. Now the way that you do this without interrupting what you already have set up on the aircraft is you're going to come down here to this format button and you're going to hold it. Now you'll know you're in the ILS screen because it'll report up here at the top. We got the 110.1, which is what we need. However, we need to get the 143. So now you can absolutely manipulate the course heading excuse me, that was my XP realistic me sneezing supposedly. So 143, 110, 143, 110. So now our ILS is set up. We're going to hold it back until this pops up. But let's say you just wanted to get to the planning mode, then you're just going to tap it once, and now you're in the plan feature. Okay? And now we're back to our arc with our radar. So now we are, for lack of better words, set up for the ILS. And then don't forget, now we must, decision height, we must refer to the minimum. So we got to refer to what is our final approach speed here. So our final approach speed in ground knots is going to be more like 127. So 637. So this is if the glide slope is out. This is localized only. This is ILS. A, B, C, and D. Straight in landing. So I'm going to choose, because especially it's visual, I'm going to choose minimums of 227. And I'm just doing that on the Arab side, and I still need a little bit more training on why we're going to choose a certain minimum down there or not. And it has to do with the speed of your aircraft and all that good stuff, what category it falls in on your final approach. What do we say? Decision height. And this is radial, so we'll do 242. So there, we'll do the decision height at 240. Less than 1,000 to go. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to switch this over to Unicom, and then I'm going to make sure I'm transmitting on Boom Boom Room. Sorry, standard X-plane pause. It's like you got to turn them off, turn them on. Okay, Bahamas Air 318 on Boom Boom Room. Almost at transition here, and then we're going to be climbing all the way up to flight level 230 for cruise into Nassau.
Okay, you climbing up to what for cruise? I'm going 23.
Yeah, flight level 230. That's what SimBrief gave me too.
Okay, roger.
And hello, everybody over there, the Leo Sticks family. Big up. And it's a pleasure to have my G Leo flying with us today. So, what an honor.
I'm not streaming, bro.
Hey, it was good practice, my G. It was good shot out practice, fam.
That works.
Boy, you stupid. I'm just saying, the way you said I'm not streaming though, that was funny, dude.
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay.
I for sure thought you were streaming though, for real. Thanks for tagging along, my G.
Nah, you know I ain't going off no what you call it, short notice like that. I was sitting here about to do a flight over.
Yeah, you can turn it off.
Back up to Seattle in the Dash 8, and I was like, you know what? How ironic, he's in the Dash 8. Okay, I see what you're trying to do. Let me go on over here to the Bahamas.
Boy, you silly. Yep, it kind of worked out that. Now, I know you, so if you're practicing on this plane, are you going to be streaming it soon? That way I can try to jump in with you.
You already know it.
What you rocking it as? Are you flying? Because Canada still uses it, a few places still use it, but Horizon has definitely retired it. Or are you trying to do like a heritage flight?
I'll probably do some Horizon ops over there on the West Coast somewhere.
Man, say less. You let me know when that stream is, and I'll try to be there, my G.
For sure, bro.
Because the funny thing, you said that after this, I'm going to be doing, not today, but I'm saying my next stream, I was planning to do the E-Jets, the X-Crafts, 170, 175, because Horizon retired the Dash 8, and they picked those up for those routes. So it's kind of ironic how we were both thinking Horizon, Dash 8, doing something over there.
Absolutely, yeah. I got to pull that E-Jet out again, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Right now, I'm just looking for a better Honeycomb profile, because the only thing that's kind of annoying, all of the effects from the Honeycomb don't manipulate the autopilot as it should. It does some work, so I got to do a few tests. But I did fly it the other day, and it's pretty smooth.
Yeah, roger that.
All right, my Jim will be off comms for about 10 minutes. Wifey got home. Go check in with her really quick, and I'll be back on.
All right, I'll be here.
Now, Cylon, did you take off already, my G? Okay, you're still there. All right, you're gonna take off, and because what altitude and cruise speed are you gonna be cruising at, Cylon? And honestly, guys, the cab of this aircraft was modeled very nicely as well. Now you should.
Yo, big up, Rock City, spawning salmon. What's up? Elements in the house.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about if you're still going to fly with us, are you going to take off and fly? Because you're much faster than we are. And what altitude are you going to be flying at? Yeah, so nice cabin. They got a lot. You can open up these overhead bins and stuff like that. Funny that the flight deck door didn't close. It's open. How nice of us as the pilots to leave an unsecure flight deck. Let's close this thing. Let me see which one is the door. I think it's right here. There you go. Got to close that up. You've also got some controls up here that actually work in this cabin. You can use that there. And there's the flight deck. I just heard almost cruising altitude. So the beautiful thing about this aircraft is that you pretty much put it here for flying, and then the props will do everything else. So pretty much at the max operating range that you're going to fly this Dash 8 flying 25,000 feet. That's it. It will detect ice. Oh, okay. I thought you were flying with us. I see. Roger that. For whatever reason, I don't know. I thought you were tagging along with us, but maybe that you meant you're going to be staying in the stream with us. I for sure thought you were flying with us. I'm like, oh, okay. And there was somebody else over there. I saw another jet. I thought that was you. But I see what you're saying, my G. Got you. Roger that, Silent. That makes sense, my G. Okay, we got about 100 feet to go. Getting some turbulence up here. Alright, guys. We are going to allow the aircraft to pick up about 190, and then I'm going to throw this bad boy into the 850 mode, and we will be set up for cruise, man. About another 7 knots. I like a nice clear screen. Okay, we're at 190 knots. Let's go ahead and bring that back. Now we are on the 850 mode. Those props are going to come back. And what we should always do is keep our heading squared up, even though we will be changing there in a minute. He says he's streaming on his other channels, just started this week. Well, I don't know if you can be on, but I could probably figure out how to do online play. Okay, roger that. We'll have to, yeah, for sure. New Future Games, all one word. Okay, New Future Games, roger that. I'm for sure going to try to subscribe to you, man, and follow your journey, man. Rock City is the man. James Johnson is the man. Hopefully you get over that cold soon. It always sucks to have a little cold your family member brought to you. Alright, so let's get into something here really quick so I can step away from the cockpit and greet my lovely wife. Corsair's got this R312. Let's look at the flight plan really quick. Mooney's there, so yeah, let's, okay, I see what we're gonna do. So, okay, 23.9. Let's check this chart out here quick. Okay, we get to Henze. Okay, so this is a 14-mile arc here. So it's still 14 miles from Mooney. And this is the arc. D14. So honestly, I'm going to enter that. Now we're going to go to the VNAV. And we're going to enter that. So we've got about 19 minutes until we start our descent down. Keep the data off, keep it nice and clear. Okay, and there you can see our top of descent right before Sands, and then we'll have a little bit of weather there. That little band to go on to, guys. All right, so I'm going to leave you guys here. I'm going to jump out of the cockpit for a brief moment. Thanks for riding along, and your boy will be back with you shortly. All right, fam, Bamaruski's on back. Bombas 318 back on comms. All right, let's 8 minutes. All right, let's do a quick weather check there in Nassau. Okay, altimeter is 3023, 090, 13, gusting 26, so definitely not landing full flaps on that, my G's. $19.5 is the frequency. So, okay, I've never flown online with friends in X-Plane, so I'm not sure if X-Plane can do it. Microsoft 2020 and 2024 have an online feature, multiplayer, where you guys can just fly online. I'm pretty sure X-Plane has that. I've never done it. So, to fly online without VATSIM on X-Plane, I don't know, but to fly with your friends without being on the VATSIM network for Microsoft 2020 or 2024, you can do it. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do it in X-Plane. I've just never done it. I've never even used the multiplayer feature in X-Plane. So, the easy universal way to do it is to just join the VATSIM network. And then you're connected, but you are going to be held responsible for following either VFR flight rules or IFR flight rules once you are connected to the network and you are required to communicate with them. So that would be the caveat, like, oh, I just want to fly out my friends, but we don't want to simulate, you know, the air traffic stuff. You can get away with it probably online, but not somewhere that is controlled by VATSIM, because if you are, then you will have to follow whatever flight rules you've you know, incorporated for that flight, or whether you fly on a flight plan, whatever. So that's the difference, to answer your question, Cylon. So we already have our minimums. We've got everything set up. We've got the frequency, the final approach course. We've got our top of descent G'd up. Got about 32 miles to go for top of drop. 5 minutes. Yes. Yes. If you go back and watch any of my streams, or Leo, who's flying with us, he's Leo Sticks, so he's here. All right. Well, you can see his name in chat. Go to his channel. We both fly with ATC all the time. So yes, when you're flying on the VATSIM network, Cylon, you are going to be flying as if you're flying in real life. The only difference would be is if, you know, certain controllers are on or not on. Center can cover everything. So center can cover center, departure / approach, tower, ground, and clearance delivery. So you may find a situation where you got tower on, no one else, and then tower can control ground and clearance delivery. You stupid. Someone ran. Yeah, I was just telling Cylon to also go check your channel out and sub to you, so you see the difference of two people who fly on using air traffic control. So anyway, you'll be able to tell who's on if you use, like, you know, Navigraph and use the ATC feature and the VATSIM feature where you can see live traffic and the live air traffic control. You can tell who's on, but for lack of better words, you can be fully controlled using VATSIM, especially if there's an event going on. You'll get clearance delivery. Well, you'll get ATIS, clearance delivery, ground, tower, departure and arrival, and center. And then if it's over a pond, the Atlantic Pacific, you'll get oceanic on there. That's 7. Yeah, okay, Roger that. He says it's good at the flying part. I would have to learn. Yeah, and really, you can't really all the way be good at flying until you know the other technical part. Then you can call yourself good at flying, because you're going to have to make your aircraft do what they ask you to do in a controlled manner and be able to communicate with them if there's emergencies, if you need, you know, any other type of requests based off of an issue going on your flight, you know. So controlling the aircraft, that's a very important part of it. But remember, when you really learn to really fly in real life too, the two go hand in hand. You have to be able to communicate. So the 3 fundamental things of flying: aviate, navigate, communicate. The 3. So you got to have all 3 to say that you're flying good. You know what I mean? Not taking anything away from that you already know to do, but this is the big piece that you need to get down. Okay, guys, we're going to bring our target altitude down, all the way down to 2,000 here, since we've got our vertical path indicator there for our top of descent. Okay, so now we're at 2,000. There's our top of descent. We're going to do it again. We're going to hit VNAV and then altitude select. And now we're set up for our descent. And then we'll manage speed. Let's check something out here quick. Okay, 1698. So 1700. All right, there goes the vertical path indicator. So let's shut this music off. Not that it was playing loud. Bless you. Salud, mi amor. All right, as we catch the descent, we'll announce it to company, and then we'll obviously be, well, we can do it now. We can switch over here. But we're still very much transmitting on Boom Boom Room. Okay, we're on our way down.
Customs at our destination, flight attendants will begin handing out forms momentarily. Please review and
on Boom Boom Room, Bahamas 318 is vacated. Flight level 230 now descending down to intercept Mooney on the initial approach fix for runway 14 full stop. So we're going to bring the power back.
Roger that, broski. We're 38 out from COD.
Okay, roger that. That's good space, and I should be able to get landed and get set up so you can be all eyes on you for your butter landing, sir. Yeah, roger that, Cylon, and I'm sure you do. And that's the exciting part about flying, is that you yearn for that information. You yearn to know what you need to do to level up for your next stage of flying. So that's good. I'm very, very happy for you. 3023. We'll get this one set. So essentially, we're going to get off and exit stage left. I have landed on this 10 before too. It's a nice, there's trees there, straight shot, and then you just come right here. You don't even have to exit the runway. You just literally go all the way to Alpha and then come up, which is nice too. $1,000 to go. My man said he's cheating on Microsoft 2024. He said, mind you, you guys are something else. All right, let's start getting that altimeter in there, guys. 3023, we're approaching transition. Three 3023. We got the terrain on.
The flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seat and fasten your seatbelt.
All right, Bahamas 318 will still monitor boom boom room. We are going to be on the CTAF 19.5 for Nassau.
Now get up and move about the cabin.
Alright, we'll swap over as well.
Seatbelt fasten when you see a case of unexpected turbulence.
Nassau traffic, Bahamas Air 318 to Havilland Dash 8 Q400 out of 16,200. Direct to Sands and 16 nautical miles. Then we'll be long right base runway 14. We'll be direct to Mooney after Sands, establishing ourselves ILS runway 14 full stop for Nassau. Pretty smooth flying day here. Just a little bit overcast, a little few clouds here in the Caribbean. Alright, we haven't been doing much for checklists just because on the go, but we are in the descent. We got altimeter set. Approach landing briefing has been done. Cabin altitude controls, they're in the auto, and ice protection is required, and there is no requirement for ice protection at this time. So we'll pull in right here to this apron, and there'll be parking there. So we'll probably take either 21 or 19. These are the turboprop. This over here, these are all for turboprops as well. Todavía no, pero quiero ir. Mi hija se va a cumplir 17 mañana es su cumpleaños y quiere ir a ver la película después de comer. So a ver si la veo mañana o no. Pero esas películas me encantan. Yo he visto el primer y el segundo. Después la segunda. Nassau traffic, Bahamas 318 overhead. Correction, we are turning now right base for runway 14, and it'll be extended right base. We're direct to Henze for 23 miles. So we'll call turn to final for Nassau traffic. Okay, running lights come on. Green light come on.
Nassau traffic, Bahamas Air 1286, 21 miles to the west of Sands, vacating flight level 230, expecting the ILS runway 14, approach, full stop, Nassau traffic.
Yeah, I like the speed. Speed is good.
Please complete all Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any larger electronics.
All right, fuel. We've got good fuel amounts. We got about 3,000. Just an X-plane pause. No worries. We got about 3,800 pounds of fuel still. Now, once we make our turn to Mooney, okay? About 10 to Henze. All right, so I'm going to take over. Let's go vertical speed. Let's go 2,000. Let's go 1,900. Yep, we're just going to keep bleeding this speed back. lot's going to happen once we make the turn. We'll make the turn. We need to get our nav source to VR1. Then we need to go right on to the approach mode, which is here. And Bahamas traffic, Bahamas Air 318 will be overhead Hinsey in 1.8 nautical miles, beginning the arc for ILS runway 14 approach. We'll call turn to final for Nassau.
Nassau traffic, Bahamas Air 1286 overhead, Sands at 12,700. Put us on the right base for the ILS runway 14. Approach direct Hinsey, Nassau traffic.
Okay, so we got company coming.
Just a question. Are you on YouTube for turn?
What was your question, my friend?
I was asking, are you on YouTube? I didn't recognize your name.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube right now. Just look up Dre, D-R-E, Sanchez, and I'm live right now. It's a blue plane. All right. So we're going to start bringing that speed up. All right, welcome to the stream, my friend. Are you on the ground there at Nassau? All right, well, there's 2,000.
Give me a second, I'll take it.
Are you on the ground at Nassau?
I am Bahamas 135.
Oh, okay, roger that, roger that. And Nassau traffic, Bahamas Air 318, now overhead Nupi, direct Mooney. We'll be making turn to final and slow into approach speed for Nassau traffic. Okay, we're getting to our altitude, but we're also turning. So now here's what we're going to do. We're going to go nav source, and we're going to just hit that approach. So let's go into the heading mode. We're nice and slow. Okay, localizers captured. The aircraft started turning too early. Let's pick up a little speed here. We're pretty high nose here. Just looking for that glide slope to come in. Nassau traffic, Bahamas Air 318, turn final, runway 14 full stop. All right, folks. Soon to get gear down here as we get established. All right, folks, let's get our bleeds to minimum. Conditioner's full. Tanks 1 and 2 auxiliary pumps are coming on along with the standard hydraulic pressure. And you can see bringing those props on made a big difference. Landing gear on the way down.
Nassau traffic bomb is 135,
Stage
to
flaps.
14 via Hotel 3 Hotel Nassau.
Nassau traffic, Bahamas Air 318 fully established, runway 14, 7 mile final, full stop, Nassau. Okay, gears down, all lights are on. Let's double check that. Bada bing, bada boom. Auxiliary tanks 1 and 2. You can see we're on glide.
Nassau traffic, Bahamas Air 1286 overhead, Henzi. That's 3,000.
Next stage,
13
flaps.
miles to the east of the field. Inbound ILS runway 14.
My aircraft.
Approach number 2. Nassau.
Okay, guys, we're getting ready to go next stage of flaps. Flaps 15.
Bahamas Air 135. If you like to line up after the arriving number 1-8, I can slow to approach speed once we turn final.
Oh, I'm gonna let you land ahead of me. I actually want to see both of you guys land.
Okay, roger that.
Okay, we're crabbing in, as you can see. We're gonna have to hit right rudder once we land.
500.
And pilot report for company traffic, it's a pretty strong crab on final, just be advised.
Appreciate it.
Aquatronic Wildlife 135, holding short, line 14.
Terrain.
Here he comes.
Sync rate.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Slammed her down, probably there too. Nose is coming up. Yeah, roger that. It could also be the effects. We'll see what the landing rate is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination.
I just slammed her down harder than I would like, I should say.
1:40 p.m.
Flaps
And
up.
It's currently about 76 degrees Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to
Appreciate you.
when opening the overhead bin, as items
Yeah, she was all over the place, man, those last wins.
Thank you for flying with us.
Nassau traffic, Bahamas Air 318, clear of runway 14, hotel. All right, guys, we're going to get APU going on here. So welcome, guys, to Nassau.
Bahamas Air, correction, Nassau traffic, Bahamas Air 1286. Overhead Muni, 14-mile final now, ILS runway 14. Approach Bahamas, correction, Nassau traffic.
Bahamas 18, welcome to Knoxville via Joystick.
Thank you, Bahamas 135. I appreciate it. Where you headed, Bahamas 135?
I'm going up to Abaco, Marsh Harbor.
Nice. Is that the ATR you're in?
I'm in the Dodge as well.
Okay, roger that. Alright, so yeah, maybe I'll fly with my next throttle next time. There's something with this throttle that I don't, it's a little funky on, you guys saw it in the last one too, so it's like finding that right power setting without overdoing it or underdoing it. We're gonna come right to the gate that we departed on.
Also, is this your last flight of the night, or do you have anywhere else to go?
This will be my last flight. I flew out to Key West and then came back on a round tripper.
Alrighty, man. Have a good night.
Hey, you too, my friend. Thanks for checking in, man. I hope you have a good flight. Hopefully we'll fly together sometime soon.
Hell yeah, brother.
Nassau traffic, Bahamas Air 1286, 8.5 mile final. ILS runway 14 approach. Nassau.
All right, it's going to be perfect. We get in there and get Leo's arrival.
By the way, Leo Stick, don't subscribe.
Let's tie that bus. Get those bleeds off. A generator going on, and let's shut her down.
Yeah, you're right, Dre. Is kind of spicy, bro.
Roger that. You can handle it. You got it, my G. Send her. No, Smokey. Let's turn that off. that final ain't no joke, my G. Oh my goodness. I was trying to help a brother out on that one. Let's get some music going. All right, here comes Leo. We made it, my G's. Could have pulled up further, but we didn't because we're rebels.
Nassau traffic, Bahamas Air 1286, 5 mile final, ILS runway 14. Nassau.
And we'll wait to see what Pack X gives us here. She looking good, boy. All right, here he come. Hey, perfect meeting. Look, negative 383. I slammed her, but who cares? That's...
Yeah, I never thought he ended up meeting both of us. Lucky night, bro.
Yeah, lucky night. So, still under 400. Realistic landing, just a firm butter. I'll take both of them. They're just not my best work in the dash. Normally, I can butter this thing all the time.
We're manual.
All right, Bahamas Air 1286, you are cleared for runway 14, looking good.
You're gonna run, brother?
All right, guys, and from the flight deck here in the Dre Sanchez YouTube channel, I am so happy I was able to do this with you guys. Timeless aviation, even better. Nice and low. He looking good.
Nassau traffic, Bahamas 135, lining up away 14 Nassau.
Bye, y'all. Nice. Nice and center line. Nice one, Bahamas 1286. Nice and center line, my G. Muchas gracias por decir eso, papá. Muchas gracias siempre por acompañarnos, James. Siempre es un placer. Yes, sir. Now we're going to watch this rotate on Bahamas 135, baby.
Right, Nassau traffic, Bahamas 135, taking off away 14, departing northbound.
Safe flight, Bahamas 135. We got you on camera. Looking for that good rotate.
We'll try to adapt.
Love
Nassau
this.
traffic, Bahamas Air 1286, clear of 14 at Delta. We'll be taxiing back to the ramp via hotel. Nassau traffic.
That was beautiful. That was a beautiful rotation, Bahamas 135.
Thank you very much, brother.
Yeah, Captain Sticks, man, it ended up being a dash night, coming back with another dash leaving. How about that?
Hey, my spidey senses ain't tingle for nothing.
Right? Hey, looking good while you're over there in that Alaska livery.
I don't know why, but I'm in a Bahamas Air livery.
Yeah, they probably coded it wrong, that's all.
Yeah, you were in Olympic Airlines livery.
Yeah, roger that. That's what I'm saying. It's how the devs who are doing the paint kit, they just coded it wrong. So the sim thinks it's an Alaska livery. They didn't change. They must have cloned it and didn't change it over. Nice, man. Yeah, roger that. Streaming here on the Dre Sanchez YouTube channel, and I got another streamer who's not streaming now, but he's flying with us. But he's a much bigger guy than I am. This is Leo Sticks 86.
That's a friend of mine. I'm subbed to you both, by the way.
Nice. Well, thanks for subbing, man, and hopefully we get some flights in together, my G. All right, fellas, I'm gonna run some replays and sit her down for the night. I appreciate each and every one of you. Leo, big up. Thank you, man, for the support, my G. And please do let me know when you're flying again, dog, because I want to be there for you as well. You know how we roll, baby.
Well, that's pretty nice. Also, I'm not so favorite. I'm a friend of Timeless Aviation, by the way.
Nice. See, we all friends here. Well, welcome aboard, man. Hope to see you in future streams and get some flights in together, man.
I'll be watching.
Yes, sir. And if you got some content to share, share it with us, and we'll be watching you as well, my friend.
Yes, sir. All right, Bahamas 135, 20 Honeycomb. Everyone, good night.
Safe, bro.
Have a good one. See, I just signed on to catch you on stream before it's too late, you know?
Absolutely.
All right, Captain Sticks, big up. We still got to connect so we can get our DCS going. And let me know when you're doing your next stream, man. Send me a text, and I'll try to jump in with you, my G.
2.
Out here. Much love. All right, that was our boy Leo. We're going to go ahead and it was fun meeting a nice guys here. Timeless Aviation and Nassau Favorite 242 hopping on. Nice to meet you guys, man. That's what I love about this community. Like, you know, that's what it's about right there. Just sharing the passion for aviation, man. All right, let's look at this questionable approach. And then we're out of here, my friends. Later, Greg, man. Thanks, as always, for stopping through, my friend. Look at this crab. Yep, nice to meet you, Timeless, man. Really appreciate it. Love our community. Nah, Nassau, what's up, man? Got you locked in now, my G. So, guys, we had some good landings today, firm butters. course, we always strive to get the best. See if we can catch us a tower view eventually here. Look how she's just floating in there on that crab. Yeah, we still don't got it. All right, let's ride that back. Okay, let's pause it right here. We have like literally no views on this thing, so yeah, crosswinds was something else, boy. Should have hit right rudder harder there, but we got her, baby. We got her. Yeah, them crosswinds wasn't no joke, my G's. So great landing for the crosswind, man. You guys saw that crab, man. That crab was whoo. All right, let's get a nice little wing joint here. You guys know I like my wing joint. We're gonna go far out. And guys, that's it for me, man. I will 100% see you guys on the next one. Enjoy the rest of the replay, and I am GONE. Happy holidays, everybody.